Hello, good evening, and welcome to the seventh session or the seventh conversation of the Sediment Stories. My name is Aishani, and I work with Veditum as an associate. And today I'm also joined by Siddharth from Veditum. I'll start by introducing our organization and our work, and also Keyur, who's the speaker today. Veditam is transforming the environmental governance landscape of India by empowering communities to take action and creating empathetic environmental leaders for the future. Our work sits at the intersection of environmental and social justice, and our work extends from grassroots interventions and community making to awareness building and influencing policy change. Vedatam's journey started with our founder Siddharth walking along the river Ganga, inspired the Moving Upstream project. And in this project, Siddharth and the fellows have walked along and experienced and documented six rivers in India, walking over more than 6,000 kilometers. Our other project, India Sand Watch, is an environmental accountability project protecting India's rivers from unsustainable and destructive sand mining. It offers possibilities to support environmental and social work around sand mining through new imaginations. And Sediment Stories is one such imagination. Since our work is so deeply involved with and it looks at sand, we wanted to open dialogues with people from various disciplines to understand the diverse role of sand in environment and our lives. Where does sand come from? Where does it go? What role does sediment play in different ecosystems? Are there alternatives? Join us for this series of conversations as we navigate the journey of sediments from creation to extraction, exploring intersections and interconnections with ecology, geology, hydrology, journalism, activism, and more. And today we're excited to be joined by Keyur Sarda, who will be talking to us about building with construction and demolition waste and other local materials. He graduated in 1996 from School of Building Science and Technology, CEPT University, and has started his own enterprise, Kesarjan Building Center. The center is set up with the conviction and commitment to make the construction field environment friendly on the basis of reduce, reuse, and recycle principle. Thank you and welcome, Keyur Bhai. I think we can start the conversation now.
Hello,
Uh,
everybody.
Hello. And I think the first thing we would like to know from you is what inspired you and what was your interest that drew you to start this work and continue this for so many years?
I think I found the strong purpose and my interest in environmental conservation and training in engineer led me to the building material field. Actually, whatever work you see is a summation of positive energies and efforts put by many people, be it family, uh, friends, engineers, professionals. So people have supported me along the way. I have experimented. People have used my product in experimentation stage also. So that was a great support from the society also that has survived this effort.
Yeah, that's great to know, and that's great to learn from you. And maybe you can talk about a little bit about your process. How is the process of converting construction and demolition waste into these products that we're going to be talking about? And how do you source your waste? And what would happen if this waste was not recycled? What would happen to that waste?
So I actually started with flash brick manufacturing. So I will come how the idea came to using CND waste that I will discuss. So I will just share the. So we started in 96, 97, and we were doing We started with fly ash brick manufacturing, where we use fly ash, uh, uh, sand and lime with cement, a binder to create the bricks. So the concern was that we were using sand. Still, lime was from the acetylene plant and flash was the recycled material, but we were using the sand. So we were looking for the alternative to the sand, and we found that answer into demolition waste, because fortunately what happens that in our country, wood, steel, etc. is salvage at the site. So more segregated waste, matlab, pure sand and soil, etc. you get as a material. So that was easy to get the material, and we started crushing it uh, and used CND waste as a material.
Right.
So process is very simple. I've kept it very simple. We get the waste and crush it to the size. The other processes which are followed in the India is they used to wash this aggregate to improve the quality and separate out the silt content. But that would be too costly for our country, or to find the way out to use the waste, because it cost adds, then it is not viable to market it also. So what I have done is I have just crushed it and segregated as per the size, and remixed that components to form the lean concrete. The bricks or blocks what are we are making is a very lean. You can look at it as a lean concrete, and that mixed design incorporates the use of silt also. So that is the advantage that the process has.
Okay.
The beyond CND waste, as we started with fly ash, and the fly ash was used, or the fly ash is used because it has a very good reactivity with the lime. So it is a pozzolanic material. So there are other pozzolanic material also available in mineral waste, like brickbat. If you crush it fine, it becomes surki, which is reactive with the lime. Ceramic tile is also made up of a soil which can be which is fired in a very controlled temperature. That also is a good pozzolanic material. So all these pozzolanic material and lime will help us to form the binder. Now you need filler into that, and that filler can be debris, and that will give you the product. So here, what the advantage is, you are getting hues, different hues out of that. And if you sorry, see at look at the products. So these are different mix of different waste, and you get the colors. So these are from the surkis, and inserted bricks are of the debris and fly ash. Few pieces, are the inserted pieces are the. These are the pure debris brick, which is whatever debris has come, we have used for our block making with the flash, little bit flash, because flash as a binder we have added. So these are white bricks, off-white bricks are of ceramic powder. So you get this good colors. And if you add tadka of different sizes, then you get very good offering as a product. So we add because it is a machine, and we can control the molds, or we can make the molds. So we started manufacturing different sizes, and we kept it in the module of the bricks, which can be adopted directly by the designers. So that's how it has come. And application wise also, people have adopted, it has been used as a structural member, load bearing construction, as well as the roof dome construction, and uh, paving also. So ultimately, what you have got is pozzolanic material around 30% to 35%, filler debris, lime sludge, which is recycled material, and cement, sorry, 5 to 6%. So almost 80 to 95% content is recycled content in every brick.
Yeah, I think that's really fascinating. I think everything that you shared, from the journey, the experimentation, the exploration of different waste types, to what is possible in terms of products and outputs, and the application, how this can be used.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think what you've shared, and that's also somewhat stuck with me, is this how the salvaging happens, and cement, I mean the steel and wood and some of these materials that already get segregated in and reused. But I think the bigger thing about the debris and the using that, crushing that, and to form these products. And these are not just any product. These look also very beautiful, and they I think one cannot make out if this is like a new product or a recycled product. I think it looks really well made.
It's a resource. We named it a waste, but
Yeah,
it is a very important resource because nothing is wasting, like as per actual. Everything is material. How you
yeah,
convert, how you use it is the matter.
yeah, yeah. Great. Just a minute. So I think you showed us about these products. Can you also talk about? I think you talked about some of the sizes of these products, how they are used. You showed us some examples, but can you also tell us about the quality, the strength, and how are these compared to the other standard available products in the market?
Uh, yes. If you look at the economics, comparative, first and foremost thing in construction is cost, because it is very cost sensitive area. So, if you get the normal brick in Ahmedabad, it would be 7 to 8 rupees per number, and our brick is something around 9 rupees. So almost 10 to 12% higher cost, but the quality, size wise, and the strength wise, in our area in Gujarat particularly, the brick strength ranges from 3.5 to 5 MPa, and what we have kept minimum standard is 7.5 MPa. So that doubt is, if it is a recycled material, it would be a poor quality, should not be there, and the reliability of the product is beyond the doubt, and uh, that putting together, people have used debris brick as a exposed material also. So now, if you segregate the waste, so the efforts put into the segregation and mixing again to the getting colored bricks, so it ranges from 12, 13 rupees to 16 rupees per brick, which come out to be something 7,600 rupees maximum per cubic meter. Compared to whatever exposed brick in Ahmedabad we get is ranging from 5,700 to some bricks are brought from 200 kilometers, 250 kilometers away from Ahmedabad, which are something 12,000 rupees per cubic meter. So there we are quite economical. And that's why it is getting up. Economics is the first that we need to address for the material. And there where we are getting the market.
Right. And you had mentioned that these are the products are bricks, blocks, and paving material used in paving. Uh, what are the applications, if you can elaborate on that?
Yes, so the wear and tear resistance overall is very good, but particularly as we are mentioning for paving, so it is a pathways, not the paver. We cannot replace paver because it's a brick. It's not the concrete or the high strength material. So little bit of erosion would be there if it is a regular traffic moves on it. But the pathway, it is very good. Few school buildings and compounds have been paved with this for a quite long period. Load bearing construction is very common. We have got encouraging support from the architects and consultant for using it as a load bearing material.
Can
And
you, I think you had some images also. I think it will be good to show images as well.
yes,
Yeah.
we can go back to. So this was the dome constructed in Ahmedabad, and many application in flat dome, which is very economical as well as the very uh, optimum use of the bricks, where the horizontal spanning is done with the bricks, and it has been used for that structural application. Such load-bearing construction has been done with bricks. So it's not wrapping of the column, it's not cladding. Actual brick piers
Okay.
are there. Uh, these are also all are load-bearing construction. As I said, this is regular size. These were the 50 country brick
Mhm.
size, what we have converted 350 by 230 bricks. So these are also a load bearing. Only horizontal element was
Right.
uh, slab. Otherwise, it is walls are all load bearing construction.
Yeah, it is really fascinating to see these applications and how these blocks look like when used in buildings. And I think one of the questions we get for the India Sandwatch project is construction is important, so river sand mining cannot stop. So, what are the alternatives? And this is a great answer and a great demonstration in this context. To this is a very useful, very important alternative to use recycled brick products, and in a very nice, aesthetically pleasant looking way as well. Yeah, I think maybe, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I want to add that for because you were mentioning about the sand mining, so this can be a very good source for sand also or the aggregate also. We have done. I have not included it because we are not regularly producing precast element, but we have done M30 grade self-compacting concrete with recycle aggregate, totally recycle aggregate.
Mhm.
Another thing is by experiment, we people have proved that many papers have proved that by blindly you can replace 30% aggregate, recycle aggregate with the virgin aggregate. And
Right.
IS has also started including this as a resource. So one can definitely look into this matter. In Gujarat, though the sand is easily available, but in where the sand is also not available and getting costlier, should the people should also look into this resource.
Right. Yes, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. Maybe if you want to talk about what are the challenges you have faced in these years, and even as an industry, what does C&D recycling industry face challenge, if you want to discuss that?
Practically, it's easy to say that we are uh, crushing it and using it. But what we are replacing is sand. So in Ahmedabad, sand is something 800 rupees per ton, for example. Now, when I source my waste through the contractor, because I am not as connected with the government, I source privately. And when I privately source and when I say, okay, I need this waste, otherwise, they will dump somewhere else. But if I need that waste, they will charge me at least transportation, etc. That would be something 350 to 400 rupees per ton. And if you add processing to it, it would be costlier than this sand. So first and foremost thing is that we don't have any disposal system for the waste, and people just dump it anywhere else. So if it can be controlled, and it's a huge volume, cannot be addressed by a single agency or centralized system. Many people will be needed, but if it is provided free of cost, then it would be more viable. My 10% cost is higher, which can be easily come down to brick cost or the comparative cost. Sorry. So that is a major challenge, because cost is in paisas per ton. I am talking about 800 rupees. So per kg it is 8 paisa or something is that. So it is very crucial to control the cost. Um, Government has very rigid tendering policies. In rigid in the sense they are specified to wash it there, or the technology is taken from the abroad. It has not been modified for our purpose. We should, I think, avoid washing of aggregate, and because when you separate out the silt would be a problem. How to handle that sludge, or the silt doesn't go anywhere, and you have to dispose it off uh, uh, somewhere. So that is another thing. And people are not genuinely pursuing, or the it requires, initially it requires efforts to establish the industry, but now the case has been proven. People have done elsewhere also, people have done experiments. So this should be taken up as viable option.
Right. Right. And continuing on this discussion, how do you think more people can be uh, drawn towards using recycled products for building materials? How can we create that kind of demand, or what are possible ways to scale the work that you're doing?
uh, I would say there is a good awareness in the market. People are looking for this material, and people are ready to use these material, because now that uh, biasness or the doubt is not there if product would be good or not. It is always supporting. People are there and people want to use it. So scaling as a market size is not a problem. And as I said, the resources are very huge. Demolition scale is very high. So many redevelopment work is going on. So many uh, new construction. So waste is also amply available. Only thing that entrepreneurship has to be encouraged in this area, and catalytic government can catalytic role to uh, promote this industry.
Yeah, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. With, like you said, a lot of redevelopment projects. I think waste as a source, as a resource is really out there. Uh, it's just that we need to be sort of using these products. We can maybe move on to question and answers now, unless you want to add something else, anything else you want to share about your experience, your learnings.
One thing we have done another product is that lime mortar. So that reaction of that pozzolana and lime is also a good as application as a mortar, and there also it's a huge application of surki or the pozzolanic material which uses mineral waste. So overall, what my concept or my appeal is that we should not look into isolation of C&D waste as the source, but there are so many mineral waste, and mineral waste makes a huge chunk of solid waste. Overall, solid waste is a huge chunk is mineral waste, which are inert and you can be used easily used into the building material industry. So combining all, one can do a lot of replacement of virgin material and save the resources.
And I'm sure like a lot of experimentation might have gone into trying and testing these different kinds of waste, like you said, mineral waste. I think you also had mentioned at some point ceramic waste, tiles from Morbi, I think, to understand its properties and seeing how it reacts with other materials, binding materials, all of that. I'm sure a lot of experimenting and learning must have gone into that.
Definitely, it's a journey.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I think maybe we can take questions from the chat.
Yeah.
Krishna Patel has asked, how many bricks do you make per day and what is the cost?
Around 10,000 bricks we per day production is there. And as I said, the if it is all combining same debris, matlab whatever debris we crush it and use it as a material, then the color would be not uniform, but that will cost something around 9 rupees per brick. And if you take particular color or particular material, segregate it and use it. So it ranges from 12, 13 rupees to 16 rupees per brick.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Okay, and Rosamma has asked, are these now produced for sale or only for your own projects?
We don't take up construction. We sell it in the market. Our market majorly is in Ahmedabad, but goes up to Surat, Maharashtra. Few projects are in Maharashtra also. So it is sold in market.
Okay. Kalpana has asked, how do these recycled bricks compare to standard bricks? I think part of that you have already taken up during the conversation, but if we want to add something to that right now.
Yes, as I said, we have kept strength almost double the available brick. So, second thing is water absorption brick. If you go by the quality of the brick, the another important aspect is water absorption, which is ranging from 15 to 16%. Uh, we are trying to get it down to 10 to 15%, but presently it is around 15 to 16 percent. There is a bit higher shrinkage because it is a molded brick. The shrinkage would be higher. So we need to wait for initial shrinkage uh, taken out. So first curing would be there at our premises, and after that, once it has to dry out, so it will reduce the shrinkage amount. But otherwise, it's quite on positive side of the brick properties. Any
Hmm.
particular property they want to know or any question is there?
Yeah, if there is any particular property that you would want to know about, maybe you can ask in the chat. Gargi Thakur has asked if we can use them exposed and how does its wet compression strength help?
Whenever we talk about the strength of the brick, it is always wet strength. It is submerged into the water for 3 days and then it is crushed to get the strength. So when I take say 7.5 MPa, it is a wet strength. Uh, as we are offering colors and different sizes, it is for exposed construction. Our majority project, 95% projects are for exposed application. Few of them are used as a normal brick also, replacing normal bricks. So expose is a very good application. Only we recommend that one should apply repellent so that it doesn't get the moss or the algae formation later on. Sorry.
Okay. Kalpana has asked the benefits of the upcycle bricks are to reduce landfill waste. Can you respond to that?
Definitely. One side is we are using the resource efficiency is the one concentration. Another is another aspect is if we are using natural bricks, then we are using agricultural land to source our material. And the other way, if we are not using debris, so debris, uh, we don't manage debris. Don't consider debris as a hazardous waste. So government is not concentrating majorly on it. So what people do is, I have seen that they use it to cover the wetlands and grab that wetlands as a source of land, or the mafias are all connected with that. So that is another very huge loss. We are losing wetlands on very large scale. It also, if it is dumped anywhere, so it will be always a depression area, or the shoulder के पास में जो drainage होता है, that will be blocked. So there are problems with the debris disposal.
Right. I have also seen in some of the survey work that I've done, there are these ponds, and very close to it, solid waste is dumped. And most often it is C&D waste. And I think it's a very common sight, like you mentioned.
Encroachment is matlab, it is a very good tool for encroaching land.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Gargi Thakur has asked, can you share about the life cycle analysis of these bricks?
I don't have technical life cycle analysis, but if you see first from cradle, so resource efficiency is there. Only 6% cement or 5% cement is a huge energy intensive material, as well as the CO2 producing material. So we have tried very raw way to calculate embodied energy, which is something almost 30 to 40% of regular brick. Because the energy what we have counted is to transport the waste to our site from the source. It includes the industrial product also, including fly ash, ceramic tiles, or etc. Then crushing it, the energy consumed, matlab electricity consumed at our place, and material use, that is cement. Because lime and everything else is recycled, so we have taken the embodied energy as well as the value of the resource zero. So it's quite comparative to that. Now, the last part, in between the usage part. So the density is almost same as regular bricks, and the density directly relates with the insulation property. So the insulation property is almost same as normal brick. Only thing, disposal now. So it is a soil based material, silica and alumina and lime based material is there. So it would easily merge with the soil. Little bit alkalinity would be there because the lime is there.
Okay. Amita has asked, what about the cost economics? How much do recycled brick products cost? I think part of that you have covered. They've also asked, also, are there building codes or regulations that apply to recycled brick products?
No specific codes are available. IS has draft the code for recycle aggregate, not for the bricks. Sorry. Sorry. So, but if you see the code for the bricks, they normally refer testing wise. It is all common for the all bricks like fly ash brick, burnt clay brick, and everything is a common testing procedure. So we have adopted that same procedure. It is a compressive testing, water absorption, and shrinkage analysis. We have taken
Okay.
into account.
Madhuri has asked, is there a lot of variation in the segregated raw material or waste that you use, as they might be coming from different sources? And if so, what are the factors that matter for consistent production?
Uh, that support we need from the designer, because the color would be changing a lot. Particularly if it load of source changes, then the definitely color would be changing. So there would be difference in long term as well as short term difference would be there. So variation would be there. It wouldn't be a consistent color in the source. Uh, and the another part was
So the first part was if there is a lot of variation in because
the if you want to use as a aggregate, then one has to take care that the water absorption of this aggregate is high. So whenever you use as a aggregate, it would be make difference. Otherwise, production people are tuned with, and we are also now quite tuned with the material. Only color makes the problem. Otherwise, we get the consistent quality.
okay. Um, Amita has asked, what specific support do you think government can provide to entrepreneurs? And I think Rosamma has also asked a similar question. Have you got any support from government, any subsidy, etc.?
Mm. Uh, I think I'm not a type of man who can negotiate with the government, so I'm not able to get the support from the government. Uh, there are few schemes, but normally it is very strong network is there which handles the solid waste to crack them, and my scale is very small. At the same time, scale is very small, so I have not got direct support from the government. But normally, to promote this, they have drafted and they have conditioned that one has to use some percentage of recycled material or the debris, C&D waste consumption should be there in the project. So that is there, but implementation is normally difficult because the normal excuse would be where it is available. So it is not available, and the who are producing, well, there are few plants in India, but they are complaining that they are not getting market, which is not problem at my scale. But I see that 300 ton per day or something is not a problem for this because the bricks or aggregate is used in a huge quantity. So market should not be problem. Only accepting and uh, conditioning to use this must be there.
Okay. Okay. Um, Ania, Aniha has asked, where else in India are these kinds of material available other than Ahmedabad?
Mm, there are almost 14 to 15 cities have crushing units. So normally, government tenders the local government, corporation, municipal corporation level tenders are there, which invites tender for crushing the C&D waste and converting it into the aggregate or the products. So almost all big cities, Delhi, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Kolkata has these plants in their vicinity, but they are not converting them into the product. Few of them have converted into a paver block. From my point of view, bit difficult because it is a high strength material. You need to spend more resources, or you have to clean your aggregate, and it will generate another waste. But few of them have done pavers also with this material, and they sell aggregate as well as sand in open market.
Okay. Um, Harsh Agarwal has said, I come from a region where there are many rice mills. This leads to unregulated disposal of rice husk ash on riverbeds and everywhere. Is there a way to use rice husk ash in construction industry?
Normally, wherever the bricks are produced, burnt clay bricks are produced, the rice husk is a very good source for incorporating the rice husk into the clay bricks. But if you go by documentation and research work, rice husk ash is a very good pozzolanic material. But the only catch is there. it has to be burnt at some temperature and come down in cool down into within certain range of time, which is very practically very difficult. Or your boiler has to be designed for that, that temperature goes up to 600 degree, and the ash come down to some temperature which range within a 7-8 second, to arrest it into a reactive form, that is amorphous phase. So that has not been approached. Otherwise, RRL Bhopal and another RRL in South has done huge research on this. One can approach CSIR for material and the guidance from that.
Okay. Mm. Kalpana has asked what kind of policies are there for the use of construction waste in public and private projects?
Uh, there are many guidelines, CPWD guidelines, government white paper is there. So one can go through, huge literature is available, and government has mentioned that almost 20% or something should be a recycled material, particularly paving and curbing. They have specified. Otherwise, as aggregate, also they have given the guidelines to use this material.
Okay. Um, Aniha has asked, can you speak about the porosity, especially aerodynamic?
Hmm. Porosity normally is measured by water absorption. So water absorption here is 15 to 16%. Sometimes if it is a pure concrete aggregate, sometimes you get concrete aggregate as a source, then the water absorption would be quite less than 10% also. But bricks and other soil-based material, which is matlab, you will get all the mixed material, then the water absorption would be 15-16%. For first class bricks, IS says it should be less than 15%, and normal brick it should be less than 20%. So our is less than 20%, but sometimes we cross that 15% limit of water absorption. But I think aerodynamics se zyada, it would be of insulation value. Porosity will relate with the insulation. So insulation, as I said, the density value is almost same 1700 kg per meter cube, which relates to the normal brick, and the K value will be same for the almost same. I don't have actual figures, but it would be almost same.
Right. I think Gargi had a question on thermal performance and the U value of it, if that's something that you want to add, or I think
I
you
can
just
share
mentioned.
it later on because there is a two three. I don't have it on hand presently. Two three testing has been done, and we are also approaching laboratory for getting it done for our product specifically.
Okay.
So I will share, and you can share later on in the
Yes, I
forum.
think, yeah, we can do that. We can share these literature and materials with
Hmm.
the attendees. Yamini has asked if these are compressed blocks, and is it possible to make bricks on site with molds? Maybe use a shuttered method like rammed earth, shuttered cob or poured earth.
Yes, my approach is also same because if you have looked at to the composition, I have mentioned this clay also, little bit clay also, where it is if it is a very coarse material, we bind it with the clay. So it is when compressed earth block का जो method है, that can be considered good for this. The only thing is difficult thing is to crushing of aggregate. So crushing on site makes two problems. One is noise and the dust. So if your campus is very large and the nearby residential area is not there, you can crush it on the site and reuse it. But otherwise, it is very difficult because it's too noisy. We need a jaw crusher to crush large size, and then the hammer will would be there. So it's a huge dusting problem as well as and noise would be the problem. Otherwise, it can be done on site.
Okay. I think the last question is by Krishna. How can you further reduce the cost of these bricks, or is this an optimized cost?
Hmm. I wish to reduce because compete करना है market में. तो but that's why I ask कि at least transportation हम जो debris का pay करते हैं ना should be paid by the disposal. In abroad it is a condition if you want to dispose it your waste you have to send it to the recycling plant. Here we are sourcing ourselves so that transportation is also paid and they normally pay to the recycler for recycling that material. We don't ask for so much. We are just asking for the transportation cost. So material lending cost should be zero. That will change the whole economics of this product.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we have one more question by Gargi. If do you have enclosed facility to segregate and crush the materials? And have you considered adding your products to the green rated brochures like Griha?
We don't have an enclosed premises, but we have a lot of plants around us to control the dust. We have just employed that suction. I don't recall exact name, but to reduce the dust in the air, we have done the that air pump to suck the uh, dust. Uh, the next part, Griha rating, etc. I think our scale is not that high, and our intention is very clear. We want to recycle, but getting certification is too costly. So we have not approached them.
Okay. Aniha has said fly ash bricks were used in the construction of the house we stay in. While thermal insulation is good, the less aerodynamic porosity is causing heat retention in summers. That is why they were asking about the aerodynamic porosity. Um, yeah.
That property should be named something else, but heat retention might be felt like because the thickness of the wall would be very less. So it is not the it's not like concrete that will retain heat. Sorry, fly ash bricks if is made mostly of fly ash, then the density comes below the 1500, and that will provide some higher insulation than the normal brick. But retention won't be there because the density is less than the retention won't be there. It will re-radiate immediately. So re-radiation would be definitely because if the wall thickness is less, then the re-radiation is would be very immediate inside the building. I think that would be the major, or otherwise, if they can discuss with the local professionals.
Okay. Yeah, I think now we've come to an end to the questions. If there is any more questions, you can add to the chat. We have a few more minutes. And anything else, Keyur, if you want to add anything from your experience, any learning or any anecdote that you'd like to share with us?
Now, it was interesting for me. I think people might have found it interesting, but was a good discussion. The chat was very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. We also, I think Gargi has just a minute. Added about misting might help the control the dust and time lag value could be improved with the thickness or adding cavity to the walls, I think. Yeah,
Thickness of wall definitely can be very good thermal mass, but the rather than material cost, it would be the FSI utilized would be the major question in the cities where the floor cost is very high, land cost is very high. One won't effort to sacrifice on the land or these carpet area. Uh, uh, Otherwise, cavity wall is another very good uh, solution, but one has to take care to drain the moisture condensing in that cavity and ventilating the cavity. Ventilated cavity will be more effective than the sealed cavity. So that detailing has to be very meticulously done.
Right. There is one more question from Siddharth. Does it require special expertise from architects or masons and workers to work with the products you make? Is there a training required for this using the products?
Nothing special because we have kept it in the module of bricks. So one can adapt easily. It is in multiplication of 230, 110, 75 का जो common brick है. It is either 1.5 brick, 2 brick, that module is there. So it won't require any special. Only thing is people have to take care that minimum brick cutting is there. If it is designed in the module of the bricks, then it would be very less wastage because expose will require a very exact measurement. So if it is done for that, and mason are particularly should be skilled to place it uh, nicely. Otherwise, no special skill
Right.
is required.
Yeah. There's one more question from Aniha. Is it possible to provide on-site manufacturing of these bricks in India? I
I
think
have
that is already answered. Yeah, I think that's already covered. Yeah, and there are a few comments about the work that you're doing is really great and very
thank
important
you.
in this world. Yeah, I
Thank
think
you.
this has been a great conversation for us, also great learning. I think the first time I spoke to you, met you was about 7, 8 years ago, and I think that interaction and that has still sort of stayed with me. This was back when I was doing my architecture bachelor's, and it's great to see the intersection of the work that you're doing with the work that we are doing at India Sandwatch and have this conversation. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your learnings and experience with us.
It was a great opportunity for me also, and it is also encouraging for me. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.